we're talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Happy
We
release
did it.
day. Episode 1 is out
Episode
now.
one.
It's
Mhm.
titled The Journey Begins. It's all meet your hosts, Kim Rogers and Sam Bruno. We are at the log home in this episode, which
Mhm.
is one of Kim's homes,
Yeah,
and her husband Jeremy built it. And it's such a special place. Like, it means so much that we did the very first episode there. I absolutely love that we did that.
it was really inspiring to be able to kind of have it be done and finished. And it isn't just the start of my journey, but it is kind of where my journey might have ended. And that was the whole purpose of, why I struggled looking into my health so much, because I wanted to make sure that I could see that be finished.
Yeah.
It's a huge accomplishment. And I don't think a lot of people know that we've been building that since 2016.
Mm.
It takes a while to do a build. And so, when you start to get sick and you're chronically ill, I kind of dive into everything like feet first to
Right.
make sure that it was at least finished if something did happen to
Exactly.
me. So it was really cool,
Yeah.
to be able to like do a podcast
We
there.
we touched on it in the episode, but
Hmm.
you explained how finishing building that home was a future goal that kept you moving forward, like to live, to help motivate you to live.
Yeah.
You had something to look forward to. You could see light in the tunnel. So it was like it kept you moving forward. And it's so beautiful. I love the log home. I love the land out there. It is such magical moss covered trees, rainforest
Hmm.
type land, and it's so healing and covered in herbs and plants that we love and adore
Wow.
and that are so beautiful. And so we really did enjoy it. Some people are asking where to watch. You all can watch the full first episode on YouTube right now. The links are always where they always are. You can find them up above in the bio. You can go to YouTube. We have a channel on YouTube now called What's Eating You. We spell you
Mhm.
just with the letter, not YOU, but just you. So yeah, you guys can go and check out the first episode right now. So far, the feedback is so great. I'm so grateful, Kim. Like, have you caught any of the comments yet?
No, I haven't gone over there just
I
yet.
know
I was
it's
going to do
busy.
it in
We're busy.
between. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's a
busy.
busy day, but honestly, the feedback so far, like from everything that I've seen, is just people really thanking you a lot, Kim. Thanking you
Mm,
for everything that you do. And a lot of people were really, really happy to hear what we were talking about
yeah.
and saying how important it is that we get this message out there. And a lot of people were acknowledging that, which I just absolutely love.
Well,
And
and your rope worm, Sam.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty deep into the episode. You got to get in deep there to hear that part, I mean, I did get vulnerable and share with people what came out of my body, which is really funny. It's a funny place to be because before we ever did this podcasting, when we used to like start to go live like a year ago, and
Hmm.
I first found you and started doing ParaFy and stuff, I had this weird moment because I'm a pop star, y'all. I am a pop artist. Okay, I've been keeping it sexy on my social media for years, okay? And so I had this crossroads moment where I was like, Sam, do you want to share with the internet and with the world that worms are coming out of your body? And at first it was really scary and vulnerable, and I was like, I don't want to really share that. But then my spirit actually told me, no, you have a responsibility too. Like, you have to share it because you are seeing this is real. It's like a real personal experience you're experiencing. You know it's real, and you see how much better you feel now after cleansing.
Yeah.
So if you don't share it with the world, you're holding back valuable information that can help a lot of people. And so I was like, F it, man. Let's go. I'm going to tell the whole world that hundreds of worms came out of my nose and I passed a foot-long rope worm. Like, sorry, it's not just sexy over here anymore. But a lot of people who respond in the comments and say like, ew, gross, oh my God. I always respond saying, isn't it more gross to walk
Hmm.
around with them living in you?
Yeah,
Like, I really think that's kind of actually more
I
gross.
do too. I think it's gross when you can feel them and then I always say feel the heal, right? You can
Mm.
feel them dying if they are active in that time. I feel like it's more important to get them out than it is to like, and seeing them is so validating.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Someone says, Sam, Poncho doesn't believe that we all have parasites. Please tell him we need to cleanse. Everyone has parasites, guys.
Hmm.
Even if you don't see physical worms leave your body like I did and still do, if I'm being honest, I'm like this deep in it and I still see them leave my body. I'm over a year and a half into this. Everyone has them. Most are microscopic, but you have them.
Yep.
If you're a human being on the planet Earth coming into contact with water, pets, other people, and
Mhm.
food, you have them
Which is our everyday, every single day.
every day.
So, what else do we talk about in like future ones, and how is this all working? Tell us a little bit about it, Sam.
Oh, other topics. Well,
Other
goodness, we covered,
topics,
yeah,
with
man.
what our
So,
podcast looks
yeah,
like.
yeah, for sure. So, a fun thing about our podcast is it's not just the sit down in person, 2 or 3 or 4 people on a microphone having conversations. That's a
Hmm.
big part of it, and we love that because that's an opportunity to share a lot of information, and we have a lot to say. Obviously, that's why the big mouth. We're making noise. We're here.
Yeah.
But we also are going to take you guys on fun adventures called field trips. So we're going to take you guys with us as we go out and actually do healing modalities. We're going to show you how to do them, what they do, the science and technology, and how it's working, and then the benefits of doing them. And so it's more vlog style, which is really
Mhm.
fun because we go out into the world and film and share with you guys all of that. We interview experts in every lane and field that we go and visit to give you guys even more information directly from sources, doctors, experts like healers. We really go and cover it all. So it's really fun and exciting, and I'm excited to drop future episodes where we
Yeah.
do dive into the modalities, because healing modalities is something you and I use every day all day.
Right.
I'm literally sitting on my biomat right now. EMF protection, baby. I'm live right now.
Yeah.
I have all these electronics happening. So I'm sitting on a biomat. I got my air doctor, air filter right there. Modalities are part of our everyday, all day life, and they're
Yeah.
what help us maintain our health.
And I think what's kind of cool is a lot of the modalities that we're showing in this last year have helped me push my Lyme into remission, because I do have my blood work that shows the bands that I tested positive for are currently not positive. So it's cool because you can actually watch a little more of my transition into becoming healthier
Mm.
while we're doing all of this.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing this since July,
Mhm.
and you can kind of see the difference in what's going on with
Not
my
even
health.
kind of. No, it's obvious. You can really see you get better. Like
Yeah.
literally over the past like 8 months, we've filmed and documented episodes and going and doing different modalities and treatments, your therapeutic plasma exchange.
Yeah.
You see in real time, you keep getting like thinner, even in your like jowls, your face, like you can see that you're losing inflammation, and
Yeah.
also like your skin. I mean, it's not fair how great it already just is to begin with, but over the past 8 months it is absolutely even gotten better, and it's obvious. People comment on your skin
Yeah.
all the time in the comments like, you look like you're 20, like, wow, you're aging backwards, and that's exactly what you're actually doing. You are.
And it's cool because, thank you, Sam. It's cool because it will normalize some of these very, they can be scary. Like, I know we did an IV while we were in Las Vegas this last weekend, and my niece was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is, needles and all."
Yeah.
I'm like, "But
Did she
it's
feel
really
it?
easy." No, she
Oh,
didn't. But it's
okay.
really easy. But
Yeah.
she sat there and it shows, like, she sat there and watched it. And I said, "See, it's not that hard." And I think that the stigma that's
Yeah.
around one more natural healing and these modalities is really sad. So I'm glad that we're going to be able
That's fair.
to show it and break that
That's fair.
that fear that people can do this. And I make things look easy, so keep that in mind, you guys. I've been doing this personally and professionally for over 20 years. So I'm not as afraid, but I also think it'll show this normalization of parasite cleansing and mold and IVs. We go into some people's facilities, which is exciting. So we get to show and talk with them. So there really is kind of a nuance to all of what we're doing. And I know for me, when I see it, it makes me feel better as well, like the TPE,
Yeah.
which is Therapeutic Plasma Exchange. When I watched it from Next House, because he has a whole series on it, I was like, oh, wait, this doesn't even look that bad. Like, so I'm hoping that people see us do that and go, oh, wait, that's so easy. Like, what was I
Yeah.
afraid of? And then that changes, and you can actually see me getting better. And I feel like that's kind of what this whole thing has been since July of 21, is that you can actually start me and watch me getting better and
It's
better. And now you can
cataloged.
actually,
It's
yeah, and
cataloged.
show the
Yeah.
modalities. It's really cool. So I'm
It
excited for
is.
everyone to be able to see all of this.
Me too.
And if you haven't watched yet, you guys, it's over on YouTube.
And all of you guys can follow our Instagram account as well. We're always going to be posting clips and promos to every episode, what we're doing, what we have going on, making announcements over there as well. But yeah, like Kim said, I love the way you worded all of that, Kim. A stigma around all of it,
Mhm.
like that is what it is. You know, in the first episode, we talk about that, about how it's taboo, and we're removing and
Mhm.
peeling back layers of taboo. But I actually love the word stigma. It's so true, because there's a narrative out there about certain things, and people are afraid because of like what people are saying out on the internet about
Mhm.
certain things, but also because if you've never done anything
Right.
before, or just if you just don't know, you know, it's, I think it's for a lack of information, and that's why we're normalizing it. I love that you use that word too, because that's what we're doing. We're just simply like showing you guys how easy, how accessible, how affordable a lot of the things are. We're going to show you, we're going to even tap on the free things that you can do at
Yeah.
home. So really excited about all of that. And yeah, Kim, I'm so proud of you and your journey, man.
Mhm.
Like your commitment, resilience, and absolute dedication to healing is inspiring to say the least. But to be so close to you, to be your best friend, your co-host, your plunging partner, your your worm friend for life. No, like to be so close to you for real. I'm honored to watch a human being choose life every day and really commit and live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it, day in and day out, and really to watch you
Yeah.
get better. It's so inspiring, and it's just beautiful to see, and I'm just so happy I'm right here with you at this point in life, you know?
Thanks.
Yeah.
I get it. We all have something we're battling, but like literally, I was battling for my life.
Yeah.
And I don't really talk a whole lot about it because I do run a business.
Yeah.
But I don't think people realize, and we definitely are touching on this on an episode, but I don't think people realize that I'm still healing while I had to start this
Yeah.
business because this is my calling. And so I'm not saying this because I want anyone to be like, oh, poor Kim. It's more like, oh my God, this is how dedicated I am to both serving myself with healing and what my mission in life
Yeah.
is. And then I found you, and it just kind of morphed into more wellness for me because I've learned a lot from you, and you're so intelligent, and your knowledge on all of this is, I'm so excited for everyone to see this because you're more than a pop star. You really are a wellness guru. You really do fully understand what we're doing here, and you have a mission as well, and your mission just kind of changed. Mine was all Western medicine, yours was all
Yeah.
pop star, and now we really want to serve people what they can do with
Yeah.
themselves and how to help themselves, even if it's just a little bit. And I do know that there'll be comments that say, oh, it's expensive. But in reality, the amount of money that I spent to do the things to heal me is actually less than what I spent to help me. And there's a difference, helping me strive every day or helping me thrive every
Mm.
day. And so those are the two
Yeah.
things that when you guys watch this and you understand that, okay, yeah, an IV might be $300, but I just spent 600 to take those supplements every day for
Yeah.
30 days,
And you don't have
and
to
they're
take
not,
any by mouth for like
yeah,
weeks after you get it. So it
right,
evens out. It really does. But thank you for
yeah,
saying all of those
yeah,
words about me. I receive it and appreciate you so much. And I see you too, man.
yeah,
We fuel each other's fire. That's what's so beautiful about us and our dynamic and rapport and connection, because that's the other feedback we've been getting that I think is so beautiful. Everyone loves like our synergy.
yeah.
Um, but I wanna tap on a couple of comments that people have been saying in the
Okay.
chat, because this is why I love this community. This is why I
Mhm.
love our shared community. People are like literally just from being on this live for a few minutes, they have helped me totally reframe and rethink the way I was viewing keeping it sexy. Like I said at the beginning of this, like multiple people in here are like helping me grow in my view of that. They literally were like, there's many different ways to be
Right.
sexy. And someone said, man, intelligence is like the most ultimate form of sexy. So what came to me just now from reading all those comments is, honestly, the most sexy thing ever is telling the truth,
Mhm.
which is what we're doing. We're out here speaking truth, and sharing the vulnerable things, sharing the real, the raw, to help people. Like, what actually is more sexy than that? So
Right.
even if like the getting there is like dirty, nitty gritty, like you gotta like, you gotta do the work, you gotta dig into the dirt to get the dirty out, I was
You
doing
can be
much.
sexy on the inside
Hell
and on the
yeah.
outside, and I think people forget that the inside is actually more sexy than the outside.
Ooh, speak it, Kim. That's right. Yeah, man. You're inner for
Yeah.
sure. Years ago, I was on mushrooms. I was on a mushroom trip, and the mushrooms made me start cleaning. So I don't know if have you I'm sure you've experienced that. They want to get things orderly and right.
Hmm.
So I went out back on my back patio, and there was like this pile of like just old like wood and junk and like stuff that like needed to like get moved out. And I hated seeing it every day in and day out. I hated going out there and seeing it. And the mushrooms were like, get out there and clean it up right now if you hate it so much. So I went out there and I'm cleaning, I'm sweeping, I am getting like dirty. And the intelligence and wisdom that came through and spoke to me in that moment was, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, especially when it's your own mess. I was like, thank you. Yes, like especially when it's your own mess. Like clean that shit up and leave the world a better place than it was when you came into it. Like I feel like that is the most sexy, you know?
The mushrooms don't do that to me. I'm like that
What?
on a I'm like that on without the
So am I,
mushrooms.
but it
And
amplifies
then
it
you
for
add
me.
those mushrooms, and I was like thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I just act more not crazy, but I don't know. I feel like there's like
Yes,
for me because
there
I
is.
don't, yeah, it's
There
so
is.
weird.
This is why. This is why. There's a light side,
Right.
and the flip side to the coin is the shadow side. Whatever you need to face, hear, see,
Right.
learn in that moment, the shadow or the light is gonna come to you. Kimmy, if you're living your life 24/7 already, light. Sometimes when you do the mushrooms, it's like, all right, bitch, we about to face this shadow and get to work. So that's why it is two sides for everyone,
Yeah.
but it's like what you're choosing to focus on. And so this is so fun and amazing that this is where the conversation went, because we are mushroom people. We're mushroom people, guys. Like, so get used to
We
it.
are. We
So
love the
we
mushrooms.
love the mushrooms. We love
They're, I mean, obviously they're such a huge part
huge.
of my journey, and so
Mine
mushrooms
too.
bring people together.
Yes. I want to get to a couple of the comments in here. So just so you guys know, we're on here right now celebrating our
Hmm.
podcast release. What's Eating You dropped today. You can watch the first episode. It's on YouTube right now. You can find the links in both of our profiles. Definitely go check out the episode. It's amazing. We cover a lot of things, from just sharing more about each of our personal journeys, healing, self-healing journeys, sharing with you guys like our lives, what we do, what we use. We talk a lot about ParaFy, parasite
Hmm.
cleansing. ParaFy is Kim's parasite cleanse, if you don't know. And We talk about all the things that we've both seen leave our bodies, including getting very graphic and descriptive about what, including like foot long rope worms and a lot of worms coming out of my nose and all of this craziness. So you can, if you want to know,
Yeah.
you know you're curious. So just go ahead and head over to YouTube and watch our first episode, and we'll give you all of the tea. We spill it all.
And then I will talk about on a future episode about mushrooms and how I utilize them to get off of Klonopin after 22
Mm,
years. And that's
huge.
why we celebrate Amanita,
Yeah.
who's behind me. And we do talk about,
And in our logo.
yep, it's on our logo. It's in pretty much everything that I do every day, so that you guys have an understanding of plant medicine, because it really is such a big part of my transition from Western medicine over to the herb world. It was my bridge over, and I did a lot of mushrooms in order for me to heal myself. I went deep, and I have a piece of property outskirts of the rainforest, and I was there for years just doing this in order for me to be able to heal my
Yeah.
body.
We have the same journey, except mine wasn't professional, it was personal. But
Hmm.
I absolutely transitioned out of pharmaceuticals, Western medicine, all of that into holistic living, plants as medicine, food as medicine, nature as medicine. And so we have that in common, and that's a really beautiful thing that we share. Someone asked a little earlier, like, well, where do I start, like with my health?
Hmm.
And obviously not medical advice, but just from personal experience, and Kim can maybe speak on it too for what she's experienced. But honestly, parasite cleansing for me, cleaning
Yeah.
out my soil. I wish, Kim, I met you 13 years ago and you had already created the ParaFy, invented the ParaFy cleanse.
Same.
Because literally, if I would have started with cleansing out my soil, and we talk about this in the first episode, so you guys can go check that out because we dive deep into this topic. But cleansing your soil is step one. Like, if you think about the body as like a garden, and even if you're taking expensive supplements and you're like doing all these modalities and you're like doing all this stuff, you're eating really good, like all this stuff, but you never cleaned out your soil. Kim talks
Mhm.
about it in our first episode, how parasites, they can have been in you for your whole life or decades. And so it's like, if you never actually took herbs that specifically kill them, and a binder that specifically binds them up,
Mhm.
and moves them out of your body, then you literally still have dirty soil, and you're trying to plant good seeds in dirty soil, and you're just not going to get good fruit. So you're going to be tired, you're going to experience these cravings for foods and things that aren't really serving you. You're going to like be having all of these symptoms and flare-ups and headaches
Mhm.
and fatigue and like all this stuff that you necessarily can't figure out what's happening or why. But I think a really beautiful place to start for my own personal experience is cleansing. And Kim has created a beautiful, potent, and effective, but very gentle and realistic cleanse. I mean, we
Mhm.
hear a lot of the time people asking, like, can I still keep working? Like, can I go to work? Like, I don't want to be on a cleanse and like have to run to the bathroom. And it's not like that. So she is
No,
so brilliant for
thanks.
creating a formula that is like, you can keep living your life. I tell people all the time, it's so realistic. You can definitely go to
Mhm.
work. Like, it's so doable and manageable, but it works. Okay. Her husband Jeremy helped her helped her decide the amount of herbs they were going to put in this formula. And he said in the very beginning of the process, and the reason I always say it, Kim, is because like I just love it. But he said, if they want to see worms, let's let them see worms.
You're
And they
gonna
did.
see them.
And they nailed it. Nailed it, guys.
And if you haven't watched our episode yet, you can find it up in our profiles, of What's Eating You, Sam Bruno's account, and also my account. So
And
they're always
Sammy
up there.
Seamoss. All
And
four,
Sammy
baby.
Simas.
All four. We putting it out everywhere. Everywhere we can. We want to get the word out. It's so
Yeah.
important.
It's a really great podcast, and it's not just a podcast. Like, we're sitting down talking, but then we also filmed us going out and doing modalities that we talk about and talking to experts while we're out there. We have so many different levels of what we're doing than just, oh, we're sitting down talking about what we want to talk about. We're actually going out in a rogue style, like a guerrilla
Gorilla
style,
style, baby.
and
Because we're showing
talking
you
to
the real
people.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you, everyone who's following our account. Like, they are just flooding in. Started following you. Started following you. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Honestly, we are wanting to grow this as
yeah.
far and wide as we can. We want to reach as many people as we can about the importance of cleansing, about the efficiency and easy access and normalization of healing modalities that are available to us in 2025. It's such an exciting time to be alive. We have access to things that the generations before us did not. And it's easy. It's easier than ever to heal thyself, to maintain your health, to maintain feeling good, And we're here to help share how to do that. That's the whole point. Each one teach one. We're here to help teach you and share and inform you, and from a place of, I mean, Kim's definitely been an expert professionally and personally for decades, but from personal experience, that's why we're sharing with you like what we have personally been through, what's worked for us. We're only providing you with real, tangible, effective information. Like, we don't have time for fake anything.
Right.
Like, we are only serving up like what has worked for us, what we have seen work for others, and we are giving you guys the 411, spilling the tea on all of that, because we want you to know what to do, how to do it, where to find it.
Yes, Sam. But this Anna gal said, has this helped for Lyme? Yeah, I have Lyme. I've had Lyme for over 30 years from what we have tracked back. So I'm healing from chronic Lyme. I'm actually in a remission if you count the bands. And I just got my blood work. So you count the bands, and that's how you know. Bands are the different Lyme, like stages or Lyme. There's like tons, like Borrelia has like 30 different styles basically. So I had about 20 plus bands of Lyme, and I have one active right now. And I had when I first got tested, I only had two, so they didn't even think that I had Lyme. But then when I got retested this last time, I showed that I had 20 bands. But the bands that were active before are no longer active. That's the only reason why I went and got tested, because I do know that there's a little bit of a different setup when you have Lyme versus when you have just mold and parasites. And so, but it helped my mold and it helped my parasites, and it also helped my Lyme. So really they all the modalities we're showing you, all this cleansing that we're doing, eating correctly, all of these things are going to help all of these labels that we've been given as chronically ill people. I have been really lucky to have such a great community, and I want to show you guys what I've learned. And sometimes 15-20 seconds just isn't enough for me to be able to do that. And Sam has so many amazing things to bring in to just amplify it even more while you're healing, because these are things that, like, I only can touch the surface this much, and you bring in an expert that talks about food, which is Sam. You bring, there's things that she's done that I have not. And so it really is such a encompassing way for you to start your healing journey. And we do say you should start it with the ParaFy kit, because it's not just a parasite cleanse, it's going to help inflammation. The brain fog is inflammation. So when you
Okay,
guys,
but it does so much more than that, Kim.
oh,
She's
for
she's
sure.
being modest. She's being modest. The ParaFy cleanse, it cleanses you of parasites and worms, heavy metals, candida,
Mm,
bad bacteria. I know that I even cleansed out viruses
yeah.
on mine. Mucus, biofilm, liver fluke. I'm speaking from personal experience. Liver flukes. I saw gallstones leave my body. Like, when I tell you, like, so lowering inflammation, yeah, how could it not? Oh, by the way, the comments are frozen for me. Do you still see them coming in
Yeah,
live?
they're
Okay,
still
well,
coming
so
in.
you'll be able to see on your end. I can't see, but can everybody just like drop a fish emoji, or a sushi emoji, or just even a heart? Can y'all just like drop it if like Kim Rogers ruined fish for you? Can we just I just want to see how many people Kim Rogers ruined fish
Uh-huh.
for, or
Uh-huh.
at the very least salmon. Like did
I ruined
did
salmon for
did,
myself.
did Kim Rogers ruin salmon for you guys? Am I the only one? Do you see any
No.
comments? Okay.
Yes. I'm dropping it for
Oh,
myself because I
okay, yeah,
ruined
I
it
will
for
too.
myself.
I will too. I'll join in. Yeah. I mean, listen. I just cannot look at it the same
Mm.
ever again. Here, I dropped every seafood emoji I could find. Here's the thing, guys. People always, every time Kim Rogers ever posts a fish or salmon video, we always hear this feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what if it's frozen first?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I posted a video that a 46,000-year-old worm woke up in Russia in the permafrost and started eating and producing babies. Freezing it doesn't do anything. You have to boil it above
Wait.
212. And they say that it's like there's 10,000 eggs in 1 square inch
Mm,
of salmon. It's like you already know
Kim,
that like it's in
people
there
are eating square inch salmon, raw salmon pieces on top of sushi every day.
every day.
So they're just like, actually, I'm sorry, when you go and you get a roll, you probably have like 8 to 10 square inches.
Yeah,
So if it's raw, whether it was frozen or not prior,
right.
they're eating and ingesting thousands of worms and parasites and eggs,
Potentially, yes.
potentially.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. Russia doesn't have this problem of denial. Like they really do have a thing in play. They really are smart. I'm not saying that all of them. I'm just saying that in particular with their health, they do shilajit. They know about parasite cleansing. Like they really do take proactive steps.
Love it.
And Western medicine were reactive. So that's really where the difference is in a lot of medicine that's around the world. And because of my own health, I started digging into other countries' medicine because I wanted to know how they did it. Why
Smart.
are we so off? Like, what's going on with us here in Western medicine and in America that we're not more proactive? And it's because we are in a sick care instead of being in a
Oh,
proactive state.
that is so powerful because it's the difference between preparing, like
Yeah,
preventative measures versus cleaning up the mess afterward.
yeah,
You already are in the emergency, or you're already in the chronic illness, or you're already in the thing, and now you're trying to work backwards. It's
yeah,
backwards. Now you're trying to clean up the mess and heal what went wrong instead of the mindset of, like you said, being proactive. So you're using foresight and intelligence and nature and the way our bodies work, like body intelligence, and getting what this system is and how it works, and then giving it what it needs to
mhm,
prevent future disasters from happening. That's what we're doing here.
yeah,
That's what What's Eating You is about. We talk about the things that actually are eating you, but we also talk about what's on our mind, and that's what the saying even means. Like, what's eating you? What's up? Like, what you got inside? Like, what
mhm,
do you want to share? What's been weighing on you? Like, let's talk about it. That's the whole point. Tap into our first episode that's out now. Such a good one. The feedback so far is amazing. We appreciate your guys' support so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, being a part of our community. It's our pleasure and our honor to share all of this with you, because that's what this is about. This is the place
yeah.
where we heal, we learn, we grow together, and each one teach one. So we're here to share with you all of the goods. That's what this is.
We do talk a lot about parasites on our podcast. I think what really makes me love it so much is that I do get to show a different side of me, which most people don't get to see unless one, you really watch a lot of my podcasts that I do on other people's podcasts. And it's kind of what made me think about doing my own podcast, was because I do have a very unique story. I went viral here on TikTok, and it just propelled me into a place that I never knew existed for my health. I feel better than I did 30 years ago, like when I was a teenager. I've been chronically ill my whole life. And so it really showed me a different way of consuming herbs and removing parasites out of my body, which then led me to understand that I had mold poisoning, which then led me to understand I had chronic Lyme. And then ultimately, I figured out that I had autoimmune encephalitis, which is PANDAS. And we all talk a lot about that over here on my account. PANDAS is something I had as a child, and it was misdiagnosed for the last 40 years. And so it really is of importance to know what to do with the herbs and your body and how you can heal. And that is what our podcast is all about. It's all about showing you different ways to heal your body. Modalities we're going to show you. We're going to interview the doctors. We're going to interview specialists. We really took a lot of time to sit down and show everyone, don't be scared of these modalities like IVs and HBA and cryo and cold plunging. Don't be afraid of it. Like, it's so good. It's so normal. And all it's going to do is help propel you forward.
I love that we really do take them along the ride and show them in real time, like actually in it, doing it, because Kim is a badass and she makes something really hard look so easy. We went to go do cold plunges, and beforehand she was like, oh yeah, like I'll go first.
Well, no, Bishop says,
right,
I'm going to challenge you.
Yeah,
and
that's
if
right.
you know anything about me, a challenge is huge to me.
Yeah. And so what did the challenge end up being for the cold plunge for you? Going past 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I had to sit for 10 minutes.
Okay, so you guys, like, if any of you have ever done a cold plunge before, you know getting to 3 minutes is a challenge. So she agreed that she would cross over 10 minutes, right? Well, I'm like, oh, this will be fine. Like, I've done it before, you know, and she gets in and she's like laughing, talking, carrying on a conversation the whole time, just like talking, just like she's talking right now for 10 whole minutes. I'm pretty sure you even hit 11, if I remember correctly.
I think I did 15.
Or 15 or some,
Yeah.
She surpassed the goal. But like, it was like, I'm watching her and I'm like, oh, this is going to be totally easy, not knowing Kim was sandbagging me the whole time. Because really, when I went to get in right after her, okay, every fiber of the inside of my being was like, get the fuck out of here, get out, I'm going to die. Like, it was like, oh my, I thought my feet were gonna fall off. If my feet hurt, it felt like they were gonna fall off. It took everything in me, everything, to surpass 3 minutes. My goal was 2, so me getting past 3, I think I hit 3:45 or something. That was everything. But listen, once I was in there, I was like, you can't trust watching Kim do anything thinking it's gonna be like that easy for you, because she's just, I don't know, she's built different. She's like a superhero or something, because I was like, girl, I don't know. But you also love the cold though.
I do. I love the cold. And the crazy thing about Dave's cold plunge is that it actually continues to move. And so you're always breaking the heat barrier that your body is building, so your body is staying cold. So if you don't know a lot about cryo and cold therapy, your body actually thinks it's being unalived. And so it kicks those hormones really far up in order for it to survive. And that's why it feels so good, is that it's like, oh, we don't need this inflammation. So it starts to move it. And you don't even have to do anything. You just sit in it. And it's doing so many things for you, because really does think that it's being unalived. So it's like kicking you out of the fight or flight survival. And it's like, we've got to thrive. It's not like making you lose your hair. It's just making your body think, because, oh my gosh, what are we going to do here? We got to push down the inflammation. We got to move your lymphatic system. It's in panic mode in a sense, in a good way though.
Yeah. And also on top of like the physical, scientific, biological things happening in the cold, there's a mental, psychological aspect to it, where when you do use everything inside of you mentally to decide, I'm getting through this, I'm going to get through it, and you do get through it, no matter what your goal is, if it's a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, when you do it, there's literally new neural pathways are being formed inside of your brain in real time that are saying, I can do hard things. And there's this accomplishment, pride, and boost that you get from completing any kind of cold therapy. So that's on top of the physical benefits that you get from it. And just a little bit of personal experience from cryo that I've experienced before. A few years back, I'm a music artist and engineer, audio engineer and producer, songwriter. And so I spent 10 years sitting in a really crappy, no support chair all night, up all night with bad posture for literally 10 years, pulling all-nighters, mixing vocals and recording. And over time, all of that accumulated. And one day, a couple years ago, it all hit me at once. And I woke up with insane neck and back pain that was so bad. The inflammation was so acute. I had to go to a chiropractor and get a scan. And they were like, you have 6 herniated discs. And I was like, how? I didn't get in a car accident. How do I have 6? He was like, it's accumulated micro trauma over time. I was like, he's like, what have you been doing for the past decade? I'm like, oh, really terrible posture all night long, hunched over, like without any support from my lumbar. So anyway, nothing would get rid of it. I tried everything you can imagine, and I would just be in bed all day and nothing would get rid of it. And I discovered cryo, and I went, and the first day I went, now I was debilitating. I couldn't drive. I couldn't turn my head more than this or this or this. It was like that bad. I went to cryo. I did 2 minutes the first day. When I walked out of the cryo booth, all of my pain and inflammation was cut in half. I was about to leave for Mexico in 4 days. I had a trip. I had a vacation. I'm like, how am I going to sit on a plane and go to another country right now? I'm not going to be able to do it. I went every day before I went for only 3 minutes a day. Every time I would go, it would cut my pain and inflammation in half. Yeah. 4 days later, I got on a plane to go to Mexico. It's like it never happened. That was all from cold therapy. That's it. He tried to give me a pharmaceutical that's the strongest steroid on the planet, and I don't remember what it's called. But he was like, this will cut out all the inflammation. I'm like, give it to me, doc. And I'm a natural girly. I was like, I need something. I took it. And after I took it, all of the light got sucked out of my life. It was like my world was like a rain cloud, and I couldn't see any hope or anything. It was like doomy. I was like, oh, I'm never taking that again. Like, no way, whatever that is. And I was supposed to take like a bunch of them over days. I was like, no. Yeah. I called him the next morning. Excuse me, whatever you gave me, this happened to me last night. Oh yeah, that. I said, what? He said, yeah, that's called impending doom. 1 out of 20 people get it when they take it. I'm like, well, I'm that one. Like, what else you got for me, doc? Because I'm never taking that again. So then he's like, well, if you have access to anything cold. I was like, oh, next day cryo. It's all I needed. 4 days in a row of cryo, 2 to 3 minutes a day. That's it. Someone asked in the comments, do you panic every time you see them? No. And weirdly enough, this is so weird to say, but personal experience. The first time you do see a worm leave your body, yeah, there is an initial like, oh my God, it's real. I can't believe this is actually real. They really were in me. But you get used to it. And it's not as scary as it sounds before you experience it. Once you get into cleanse mode, you're in cleanse mode. So you're like, this is a part of it. But to be honest, there's 3 types of cleansers that we've coined this and come up with this together, me and Kim. There's flushers who literally go and flush. Y'all don't even glance. You don't want to know. And that is totally fine and acceptable. And that is your business. So we are all in support of you flushers. Thank you for cleansing anyway. You're doing your body good. You don't have to look, okay? And then there's what we call lookers, who y'all are curious and you glance and you look because you kind of want to know, but you don't really want to go deeper than that. You just want to look and flush, and we respect it. We respect
a little validation. They don't need a lot. They just need to go, oh yeah.
So okay, we got you lookers. We see you. And then there is the third tier, which we're the most extreme. we're committed and we want to know everything that's leaving our bodies, and we call y'all diggers.
I'm not a digger.
What are you, Kim? I thought you were a digger this whole time.
Oh no, girl.
You're a looker?
I'm a looker and then a flusher.
Yeah, no,
man,
you're a looker.
I've never dug. It always was at the top. That was validating, and then I flushed. But you're a digger, Sam.
Not always. It is not listen, it's not an every time thing. But I would have never saw the ropeworm if not.
Right,
and
right,
the reason is because I do water enemas and coffee enemas.
Oh yeah.
If you do a coffee enema, the water is cloudy and because of the coffee. So, but listen, I released more stuff during enemas, coffee and water, than any other time during the cleanse. And so I even release stuff when I'm not cleansing actively from water enemas, coffee enemas, and colonics. So I highly recommend using water therapy in the form of an enema or colonic. And yeah, you do release and remove a lot more stuff when you do them. I am personally, and everyone I talk to who does agrees. So like if you guys missed it, the reason we're live right now is to celebrate the launch of our podcast, What's Eating You? Episode 1 dropped this morning, literally just a few hours ago. It's out now. You can catch it over on YouTube. Guys, we are so proud of this project. We're so proud to put together something that's a platform and a pedestal and a microphone for us to have a big ass mouth and spread the word about cleansing and using nature and food and healing modalities as methods to heal, as medicine, you know, like we're both so passionate about it through our own personal journeys and self-healing experiences that this is why we both are wanting to get on here and just spread the word as far and wide as we can, as uncensored as we can. We really just want to help you guys learn because we're learning too. We're in this together in real time. You know, Kim talks all the time about how we're currently in a global medical awakening. And I really feel like we are on the front lines. We are at the head of it because we're unafraid. We are empowered human beings who took our power into our own hands to heal ourselves and no longer depend on outside opinions or only Western medicine or, you know, we really were like, no, man, there's something deeper here and we're going to get to the bottom of it and the root cause. And in a society that's so focused on surface level symptoms and band-aids on how to temporarily treat surface level symptoms, when there's a reason it's called a doctor's practice, they're actually practicing on you. It's like actually getting to the root for yourself by using intuition, technology. Let me tell you what, YouTube University has been a huge help in my life to learn information, to empower myself and take my health into my own hands. So that's what we're here to do, is to help you guys. Oh my God, Jules, thank you. You're helping a lot of people. Thank you. I mean, it's our pleasure and our honor. And I've been walking this walk of my own self-healing journey for 13 dedicated, committed years, where simultaneously I've been professionally in the music business, but personally in my personal life, 24/7. Focus on holistic root cause healing myself of 20 some years of damaging myself out of ignorance, out of the all-American diet, out of pharmaceuticals and Western medicine, and just not knowing. And so now that I do know through personal experience, I know what works, I know what's worked for me, and anything else I'm learning as we go. And I love having this space and community with you guys where we all learn and grow and heal together. Thank you so much.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.